So in this video, we're going to learn how to graph linear inequalities. So this is going to be based off the linear inequalities we talked about in section 2 and add a little more. And this could be a review of your 8th grade year for some of you. So in linear inequality, well, first you want, it's kind of like a 3-step process. First you want to graph the line y equals mx plus b, which remember m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. You're going to do that just like we did in section 2. Because it's inequality, inequality means it's less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to from the first unit. The line either is going to be solid, and that's when it's equal to, or the line's going to be dashed. So that's kind of step 2, you make the line solid or dashed. Step 3 is that you're going to shade one side or the other. Well, when it's less than, you want to shade below the line. So if the line is going up, this would be below. If the line has a negative slope, this side would be below. It's going down. Or if the y is greater, so it's all based on y, you want to shade above. So up here, that's above. If you have a negative slope, above would be on this side. And just like with linear equations, for us to graph, you need to get y by itself before graphing. And one other thing to remember, you flip the sign when you multiply or divide by a negative number. Another important concept to keep in mind, we're still talking about inequalities, so we still have to abide by those rules. Alright, so we're just going to do a few together. So first we're going to graph the line y is less than 2x plus 3. So where do we start at? We start at 3, and I go up 2 over 1. That is just like we did for the entire section, so this should be very familiar to you. First step, it's not anything different. So now we need to look at our sign, which is less than. It is not equal to, so this line needs to be dashed. So make my line dash. And then I need to shade. Y is less. Y is less than our equation, so we need to shade below. So you have two directions, or two sides. You have this side, and if I draw an arrow from the line, this arrow is going up. If I draw an arrow going this way, away from the line, it's going down. So I'm going to shade this side of the line. And that is it. You're done. So let's do one more. So we have negative 2 as our starting. That's your b. Your slope is 1/2 because it's next to x. Alright, so then I look at my symbol. It is equal to. That tells me my line is solid. And y is greater, so I'm going to shade above the line, which is this side. This side would be below. So in this one, we need to get y by itself, which it's not. So I need to solve for y. So I'm going to move 2x over, just like we did with our linear functions. So I have negative 5y, don't lose that negative. Negative 2x plus 10 divided by negative 5. Y is less than or equal to negative 2 over negative 5 is 2/5 x, and 10 divided by negative 5 is negative 2. Now, there was a mistake there, and if you had brought your A game to this video, you would realize the mistake. Notice I divided by everything by a negative 5. Anytime you multiply and divide by a negative, we need to flip our sign. So instead of less than, y is now greater than. Alright, so we start at negative 2, go up 2 over 5. right there's my line. It's off one. Alright, and then go down 2 over 5. It is equal to, so it's a solid line. And y is greater, so you shade above. Alright, so D, this relates to x equals 5, which you remember is your special video, and the way to think of it is intersecting the x-axis at 5. So here's my x-axis. So I find 5 on the x-axis. It's intersecting only once, so it's going to be a vertical line. And then I look at my symbol. It is not equal to, so it's dashed. Right. And x is greater, so you have to think of what side does x get greater. Well, over here we have x is 4, 3, 2. Here is 6, 7, 8. Well, the x values are higher on this side, so I'm going to shade over here. And similarly, we have e is less than or equal to -4. Y is less than or equal to -4. So this is like y equals -4, which means it's going to intersect the y-axis at -4. So that makes it horizontal because it's only going to touch it once, and it's equal to, so it's going to be a solid line. And y is less, so we need to find the y value is less. Well, that's -5, -6 down here, so this side is lower. And there you go. So that is it for this video. So remember, you have lines that are going to be solid or dashed. Solid is when it's equal to. A dash is when it's less than or equal to. Otherwise, you graph normal. You shade one side of the line. If it's less than or less than or equal to, it's below. If it's greater than or greater than or equal to, it's above. Alright. And the other thing I could think of you trying to remember is that you need to get y by itself if you're going to graph. And then remember about flipping. Multiplying and dividing negative numbers. Reminder to do your reflection to get credit for watching this video.